Hi Pisces friends and fellow intuitive academics. My name is Shelley and I draw from my intuition and my lived experience as a PhD to offer you guidance on your academic journey. And today, I hope that we'll talk about your academic journey, but I'm open to whatever comes through for you, Pisces, as we say happy birthday to you, first of all. Wish you a prosperous and exciting, adventure filled or stability filled new year, whatever you're hoping for. And I'm going to give you a reading for Pisces Sun, Moon, Rising, and then I also wanted to give separate readings for the two Pisces cusp. So that's Pisces Aquarius cusp and Pisces Aries cusp, because I am a cusp person myself on the Sagittarius Capricorn cusp, and I feel like there's not enough attention to us cuspies. So those are your 5 options, your 5 chapters, and you can skip ahead to your readings today. I'm using this dreamy Mystic Mondays deck, which I just got, and I'm using it for the first time for your birthday reading because I feel like this is such a good Pisces deck. Ooh, we got the Wheel of Fortune up top for all of you Pisces. So let's go ahead and I'll shuffle these again for each of you, Pisces Sun, Moon, Rising, and the Cusp. And happy birthday, see you ahead. Hi Pisces Sun, happy birthday. Let's get a message for you with this shiny, beautiful deck about your year ahead. Any messages of what's to come that Pisces Sun should be thinking about or looking ahead to, or just general positive messages for our Pisces Sun group. So I feel like that's done already. So, oh, you got the Wheel of Fortune, lovely. I'm just gonna keep drawing a bunch until a story emerges. The Queen of Swords, the King of Wands in reverse. I'm just orienting myself a bit because this is a new deck and all the images are new. It's just kind of like washing over me. Four of Swords. I want to do one more row and then stop there. The Lovers right underneath the Wheel of Fortune. The Devil underneath the Queen of Swords. The Chariot reverse underneath the King of Wands reverse. And the Six of Wands. Okay, so something is spinning your way this year, Pisces Sun. For the year ahead for you, with the Wheel of Fortune, you have some good luck turning your way. And it's turning you toward your destiny a bit in terms of conquering a fear or like a fear-based kind of habit or fear-based addiction that's kind of holding you back and keeping you stagnant and keeping you less than. It's like, yeah, this cognitive thing, this mental thing is keeping you in outside of your power, keeping you in your less than state. Because this is you're on this journey with the Wheel of Fortune. It's turning you into this opportunity to embrace the Queen of Swords energy, which is all about verbalizing, expressing yourself, speaking truth, standing up for the truth, defending the truth. Even I really get that sense from this Queen of Swords. Something about the two kind of mountains in between. It's also like you're mediating between two like traditions of thought. So it could be that you're leaving one form of thought or one school of thought and moving on to another. Like maybe leaving a discipline that you thought you wanted to pursue and moving on to another. So I am seeing this matching your academic journey. But it could also be like interdisciplinary, like you're working in the middle to mediate between the two, and you find that you really have the skills to do this well. Something about leading people too with your words. I'm gonna pin that and get back to it. Also, with your words, defeating the devil, the devil within, but also kind of like the devil. Okay, this is how do I say this? It's like you meet the devil within, external to you, in other people, in certain scenarios. So it could be something like this, where you have this recurring anxiety about a scenario playing out, an embarrassing scenario playing out. Let's say public speaking. Like you keep having this nightmare about speaking in public, and then you forget your whole speech, and then you it's like you're going to be given the opportunity to actually play that out in real life and find that you don't forget your speech. It's kind of like you defeat your greatest fears by proving to yourself that it's all just fear. It's all false, because the reality was totally different. The reality that was that you aced this thing, you remembered every word, and you spoke every word from your heart, and every word of that speech landed on the audience. It was just a major success. Yeah, so this is one example, but that might be ringing really true for some people out there. So you're like slaying your demons in that way. I'm going here to the Lovers. Yeah, the word union is coming to mind. Union rather than choice. Similar to the Queen of Swords with the two here. It's like you're merging something. You have to think on that. That opportunity again to merge something that you couldn't merge before, that the fear was holding you back on. Okay, I'm gonna leave that there for now. This King of Wands reverse and the Chariot reverse is kind of like your bump in the road. So it could be that some of you fear like critique from an authority figure, someone who might be like an advisor to you. And this isn't going to resolve easily or quickly. This is going to take time and work. But there's a figure here, like a person that's tied up with this fear that you have. For example, the fear of speaking is actually tied up of fear of like critique from your advisor, like that. But do you see how the Queen of Swords is like has her hand up and is like putting a halt to everything, and like saying and like laying the law down basically? That's you. That's you defeating the devil within. That's all, the devil within and the devil outside. That is really an external projection of the devil within. Because this, keeping with the advisor example, like this advisor doesn't mean anything in terms of your long-term success. You have the victory card. This is going to be a success on multiple levels. In the end, it's really just you who has to realize and see that the advisor doesn't really need to be controlling your thoughts and emotions with what you're working on. they actually have less control than you think. What I mean here is you don't have to give them so much control. This is your project in the end. Your name is on it. You can decide to leave some of their feedback behind. Of course, that's going to like look different depending on people's different situations, but this is the message that's coming in for you, that this is the opportunity that's turning your way to step into your power by playing it out on the stage that you have in front of you, wherever you're at in your school or career, so that you can be victorious at the end of that and just up level to the next stage of your career with that trophy, with that sword in hand. I keep going back to the Lovers. There's something complicated here, and it's about merging the fear with something. And because there's a heart here, I'm gonna go the direction of merging the fear with love. Yeah, it could be something like this, where you're trying to conquer your fear, but the way you conquer your fear is by loving yourself. So like you might have it in your head that I'm gonna have discipline. I'm going to like do all these like self-help things to conquer my fears. I'm going to like expose myself to my fears until I'm numb to them. I think this is what's coming in with the Lovers, is that actually union is going to conquer your fears. Union between healing and conquering, healing and fighting, union between the fears and love. Kind of abstract, but I want to leave it there and like hope that that rings for you in whatever way it will. Yeah. Overall, this is going to take time and work. It's not going to happen fast. You might not even complete this by the end of the year. You might just be getting most of the wheel turning by the end of the year. But it's so essential for you to be able to step into your power and move into your next level of where you're supposed to be. The last card I didn't get to yet is the Four of Swords, and I really feel like that's the finality. It's kind of like in a story arc where you have like, the victory and you feel like that's the end, but then like the story's closing with something else. You have peace of mind at the very end. You have balance and restoration. Do you see how this figure is like has power with the sword in a different way than the Queen of Wands? Queen of Wands is actively like speaking to someone and using their sword, ready to strike. The Four of Swords is like holding a boundary, guarding themselves, guarding something behind them too, guarding their thoughts, and they're just so composed and centered. The whole image is centered. You learn to use this power of the Queen of Swords this year, but eventually you're going to have power in this way, the Four of Swords, that's more composed, more centered. There's more gravity here. It's almost like you don't need to lift your sword anymore because people know not to mess with you. People know where the boundaries are with you. Yeah, this is like the big reward that you get really at the end. There is a victory with this thing coming through, but this is the real victory, the Four of Swords card, the peace that it gives you. Oh, that's so lovely. Okay, so I want to close off with one of these. Oh, I'm forgetting the name of them. What's the name? Starseed Oracle. This also feels very dreamy to me and Piscean. So you get star brothers: protection, loyalty, safety, and trust. Sorry, there was a glitch in the recording, the camera, so I'm starting up again. So I pulled the Star Brothers card for you. You can just take that in a bit. It says Horus energy, protection, loyalty, safety, and trust. And I'm going to read you the description because it's so appropriate for what we've been talking about here. You're more protected than you can imagine. It's safe to open the back of your heart. You're being called to be open to receiving a new level of support now from those in your life, from the benevolent beings you're connected with. Through ancestral patterning, current life traumas, and past life karmic impressions, many of us have become mistrustful and suspicious of loyalty and have blocks when it comes to receiving support. We've learned that we need to go at life alone, that it's not safe to let our guard down and our heart open, that the world isn't a friendly place. The Star Brothers want you to have a new experience of life on Earth. They want you to feel deeply secure and safe, even though you're going through a difficult time. They want you to hand over your fears to them, to see them as opportunities to let in more love. That's just saying, in other words, like that same thing I was feeling here with the merging, the union, the love and the fears. That's another way you can think about it. Handing over your fears to your guides, to your support system here in the physical plane, however you see that you can hand over your fears to your support, as an opportunity to let in more love. They're guiding you to stay open to receiving a greater level of support than you can ever imagine, both in this world and beyond. To call in your team of loyal protectors and supporters, both physically and energetically. They want you to learn to soften through life's ups and downs and to learn to open your heart, especially when it most wants to harden. And the question you can reflect on is, how can you open yourself up to receiving more support? So that is your message for your year, Pisces Sun. How can you open yourself up to receiving more support? Choosing to soften your heart by the assistance of others rather than letting it harden with the difficulties that you've been facing. And that's where your power will come from. There's great success with this in the end, both internally and externally in whatever situation you're in. So happy birthday to you, Pisces. Thank you in advance for any likes, comments, subscribes, and shares. I would love to see you back here again. Wishing you well. Hi Pisces Moon, happy birthday to you. Let's get a message for your year ahead. See if there's anything that you should be thinking of, looking ahead to, being aware of as you enter into this new year of your life and your journey. Whoa! Not doing so well with that shuffle. Yeah, still like these cards haven't been broken in yet. Okay, let's get one more in. Then I'm just going to pull a lot of these cards out. Wow. All at once. Okay. Pisces Moon message. Princess of Pentacles. Upright, 9 of Pentacles, reverse. 6 of Cups, upright. And 10 of Cups. Mixture of Pentacles and Cups energy is happening here. This is the 9 of Pentacles, and this is the 10 of Cups, and I keep wanting to put them together in sequence, even though they're in different suits. And in between them is the Six of Cups, directing us towards something from the past. But I take this to be something kind of harmonious and beautiful. I feel like this is speaking to kind of like a childhood in which you grew up with a lot of love, abundance of love, like the maximum love that you could expect. But the economic situation was was difficult. There was a lack there. And this is you, the Princess of Pentacles, kind of learning to navigate the world through this lens of knowing how to have an abundance of love despite having material lack, despite having material dreams kind of crushed or not realized. And I feel like you're this Princess of Pentacles setting off on the journey to kind of reconcile the emotions tied to that specific past, because you are Pisces moon and moon is ruling your emotions. So that's the first layer I'm getting in. Wheel of Fortune reversed, Queen of Swords reversed, Strength card, and the Ten of Wands reversed. Wow, interesting. Where do I want to start? So this is the journey that's unfolding for you now. You're using incredible strength, the inner strength that you gained from this past, to let go of your burden, to reverse the silence, the unspoken stories from the past, and to turn your fortune around. It's all like it's like this tiger is carrying all of that forward, and this tiger strength energy is you this year. Just like the Princess of Pentacles, there's very like steady, determined forward motion. This is you walking through your year ahead. And then this is what you're bringing with you. You're no longer silent. You're attracting good luck, and you're not taking on more than you can handle anymore. So interesting that the Ten of Wands, it almost looks like a mirror reflection of the Ten of Cups. I have to think about that for a minute. I feel like there's some kind of pressure, so like economic pressure that you're still carrying from the past. And it's like you realize that you voluntarily carried that up until now, but you don't have to carry it anymore. It could be something like a belief that, like no one in your family goes to college, something like that. And it's like you're letting that belief go because you're getting into college. It's like you're breaking that belief and you're creating a new reality because people, and you most importantly, saw that you broke that belief. Yeah, I feel compelled to tell you that you have what it takes. You just have to keep walking forward with strength. You already paved this path for yourself. And it's like, I wish I could show you what I'm seeing. It's like, it's kind of like this actually. It's like everything is being pulled in because of the tiger, which is you. You're like a force. Everything that you want is being like netted in as you walk forward. It's following you. It's like you're attracting all the dreams you have. It's like you're not chasing your dreams, whereas the Princess of Pentacles is like navigating and like orienting themselves towards their dreams and following the path step by step. It's also like choosing a dream, deciding on it, and setting the intention and then going out. This is in you too, but it's like all of a sudden this is coming out of you this year, and it's like those dreams are following you. They're chasing you, and it's like you just have to keep doing you and everything will come to you. Yeah. I I just kept coming to this card because it's like everything, it feels like everything is like following it. Um, I think that's a pretty complete message already. Really about just keep doing what you're doing and showing you kind of what it's rooted in and what you're really kind of healing by doing this. But you already intuitively know you've been following your guidance to this point, and this is just kind of like putting out in cards what you already know and confirming to you that you're totally doing this. You're doing this right, and you're going all the way, and there's incredible like power in what you're doing, in you becoming this strength card. I want to pull one more piece of message for you for this year. Let's see what comes out. Whoop! Water your garden. Nourishment, body care, tenderness, rest. I want to read the description to you. Earth is a seasonal planet, and as such, you're a seasonal being, cyclic. You can't be on and in full bloom month after month, day after day after day. You're strongly being called to put on the brakes, rest, and refuel, to take a moment to restock and replenish and slow right on down. Your body is the only body you're given, and it needs to be respected as such. You're being called to take responsibility for your well-being, to put your health and body first. I know it can feel like time is running out and as if there are urgent things that simply can't wait. However, if you keep pushing on, soon fatigue will set in. This way of living isn't sustainable. If anyone continues to race through life, eventually they will reach exhaustion, and it will take longer to recover than it would have done to rest. Immune system disorders and mystery illnesses are becoming more common because we're putting too much pressure on our bodies to keep up with the instantaneous pace of modern life. How are you being called to put on the brakes, to rest, restore, and rejuvenate? When was the last time you took a holiday or had a full weekend, day, or afternoon off? Look after your precious body and mind. Give yourself enough time to recover when you find yourself running on your reserves. There is enough time. Life will bend toward you. When you do, life will bend toward you. That's just what I was saying with the tiger. And the question is, what is your body yearning for? Yeah, there was a lot in there that made things clearer for me. It just sounded like in a different way. So that slow pace is what I was feeling intensely from these two cards for your whole reading, anchoring your whole reading, step by step. You know, this tiger isn't running. but they have strength, and it's just step by step the prowl and like things following in on you. What was it? What did it say? Life will bend toward you when you do. So as you go slowly, step by step, life will bend toward you. You don't have to chase after anything. You just have to keep walking forward slowly in your power. And it also makes me think of kind of like a survivor mentality about like having to work harder to get things economically or materially because of what's rooted in your young years, in the way that you see the world. That's overburdening you, and that's what you're learning to kind of let go of, to care for yourself and let things become attracted to you instead, because you do have that power available to you. Yeah, it might be hard to hear, but it's like you have to slow down to reverse your luck, to reverse the wheel of fortune. But as soon as you take care of yourself, everything becomes attracted to you, and it's like you don't have to chase it anymore, and that's so magical. I wish I had a Pisces moon. But yeah, I love that for you, and I'm wishing you so much love on that journey. It sounds to be a very beneficial one, even if very difficult, but it's huge, and it'll be really worth it in the end. So I'm wishing you so much love on that, and thank you in advance for any likes, subscribes, shares, comments. I would love to hear how this is going for you, and I would also love to see you back here for more readings, and take care until then. Hi Pisces rising, happy birthday to you. So we're going to get a glimpse ahead into your upcoming year. And if you're not totally clear what Pisces rising is about, the rising sign is like how you outwardly present yourself to the world. So the sun is more about like who you are at the core, and maybe like who you and your closest friends, the things you and your closest people in your life know about you. Whereas the rising is more about like how you've learned maybe to present yourself, articulate yourself into like the roles, the social roles of where you're at. So it's still key. It like interacts with the core of who you are, but it's still key to understanding like the whole puzzle of who you are. And probably you already know that, but I felt compelled to kind of say something about it. So we're getting a little insight into your year ahead, and I'm gonna just pull out all the cards first. You got the Death card, the High Priestess in reverse, which is the Pisces card, the Hanged Woman in reverse, and the Five of Pentacles. Wow. So you just got started off with 3 major arcana all in a row. So there's like intense things happening, big things too, with the Hanged Woman and the High Priestess. The Death card is like bringing a change, bringing a transformation to you through a hardship that you're going through. Some sort of hardship that you're going through is presenting you the opportunity for transformation. It's like a weird sense of like it's tying up your abilities of intuition and perception and vision and understanding from different angles. It's like you already had those, but then now this situation, this hardship is tying them up. So you're having a hard time understanding them or accessing them, but it's in service of strengthening them so that by the time you're not all tied up. After this hardship passes and resolves, you will be able to embrace your intuitive abilities, your connection, your vision and knowing, and your ability to see from different perspectives and understand like situations and problems from different perspectives. It will be strengthened after this. So it's kind of interesting. I'm not clear on like what that could possibly be, but I'm just gonna keep pulling another row of cards. Wow, more major arcana. Justice reversed, Knight of Wands reversed, Three of Pentacles, and Seven of Cups reversed. I see what it is now, yeah. So I have to say, there's a situation where you have several choices in front of you, and you're a little bit disillusioned by the choice. An example that's coming to mind is like you applied to a lot of colleges. Now you have the choice between like 5 different colleges or 7 colleges, right, that accepted you. And you're like, how am I going to decide this? And you're like, oh, I'll just choose the most prestigious one, like the biggest name. This is a bit of a like your lesson ahead of you is that you chose the most prestigious name, and yeah, you're going to have that degree, but you find that the environment wasn't a match for you. The people weren't a match for you. You couldn't flourish in the way you wanted to. I see that choice that you make is the hardship that you face, but is a major life lesson for you. So it's all meant to serve you for the next time you're presented with a choice. Yeah. With the Three of Pentacles, that speaks to the institution for me. That it might not just be the institution, it might be like a mentor that you choose. This mentor might be a little bit too young, like a little bit too novice to be able to mentor you. Like they're not going to do the job that you hoped for. They're not going to really know how to mentor you that well. Justice reversed. There's something with the Death card. There's something unjust here. And it's like you need to be the one to balance it out again. You need to call someone out on something, because no one else is seeing it. Yeah, whatever that is that like rings true for you, you're being guided to call it out. So say like you're not getting the same funding as the other students because of this technical reason, and then you question that, and you're like, why does that happen? You call it out, call attention to it. You're being guided to that. Yeah, it's a little bit intense, but I have to say it's all to like prepare you for your future. Like when you encounter a situation like this again, you will never forget what happened here. This is like lower stakes than what could have happened later on down the line, and it's all about like gaining skills to stand up for yourself, to call out injustice or things that are unfair when they happen to you, to learn to weather a temporary hardship, and to learn how to choose with with great discernment what is best for you to get in alignment with your path. This is the aligned path, yeah. To be able to select the right partnerships to create this, sorry to say the word synergy, but like that's the that's the feeling I'm getting. The synergy depends on your choice of who is involved in that synergy. You can't just choose anyone, because some people are just out there to like fulfill their own projects, and they'll just, yeah, they might agree to mentor you, but then they won't show up. That's coming through on the table here. But I also feel that like, so I feel like I read this as if it already happened, because I feel like you're strongly leaning this way, but I think you have an opportunity to like to go back and change this decision when you call out that like this person's not mentoring you the way they need to, something like that. Then you can go back and select your synergy. So your keyword for this year is synergy. Um, but yeah, whatever way that you're taking that lesson, yeah. So this is all meant for you, yeah. These are all like challenges and opportunities to help you grow, and you do always have like the choice to be able to navigate that as you will. This is just kind of like laying out the scenario of what's like that path ahead of you. Since we did start with a death card, it's like you are entering an opportunity for transformation. You're going to have to make a decision without the aid of your perspective and your intuition. Somehow that's being blocked, possibly by the ego, is blocking your connectedness and your alignment to your purpose. Yeah. And that's the thing that's creating the hardship. I have to say, I feel like this is like you're on the cusp of entering into this. Yeah. So that's what the cards are saying here. I want to pull one more card here to aid you on this journey if you go ahead. Ooh, so you got perspective. How many times did I say perspective? And it says none of this matters. Zoom out, common ground. So I want to read you the description to get the author's words. Oh, it opened right to that. That's so cool. Ready to go. Take a step back and look at the bigger picture of your life. Step away from the blinkered vision and reactive frame of mind of me against them. Change your perspective, shift your point of view, and zoom out, out, out. We are but a speck of dust in the universe, yet we think everything revolves around us. We see the planet as ours to own and conquer, pillaging the land and setting ourselves up for our eventual extinction. We build fences and walls and create invisible borders. Mother Earth doesn't need us to survive, but we need her. It's time to wake up. A new perspective is urgently needed. We become so lost in our individual experience that we don't realize that most of the things that keep us awake at night are actually distractions. We're wasting our precious time and resources fighting each other when we should be coming together to heal what's been severed. This moment is a breath in the timeline of your life. This life is a fleeting moment in the tapestry of your soul's experience. Your soul's experience is a flash in the timeline of the known universe, and the known universe is a grain of sand in the unknown universe. Take a moment to see the bigger picture, to find common ground, to find deep compassion in your heart, to gain a greater perspective of humanity in this fleeting moment in the timeline of your soul's existence, in the timeline of all that is, was, and ever will be. And the question to reflect on is, how are you being called to change your perspective? That's definitely what we've been talking about here. Changing your perspective to make the most beneficial choice to pursue and align with the path that like matches your purpose, right? Instead of choosing for the most prestigious job, the most prestigious program, or the one with the most money. It's about aligning your values to your purpose. Yeah, and perspective is what's going to get you there. So you are being invited to transform your perspective with this experience. Yeah, sounds like there's stuff ahead for you, but it's all going to be like for the best transformation in the end. So I'm wishing you a happy birthday with that, Pisces rising. Thank you in advance for your likes, comments, subscribes, and shares, and sending you so much love on your journey. And I'll see you in the next time. Happy birthday, Pisces, Aquarius, Cusp. So let's go ahead and ask what lies in your year ahead. And often I associate the cusp with like the sun sign, but I guess you could have a cusp in other areas too. So let's just say this will be for anywhere that you have that Pisces, Aquarius cusp. If you strongly identify with that, you want a message to do with it, this is the reading for you. So let's see what we can insight into your year ahead, something to look forward to, something to be aware of, whatever comes through. Judgment reversed, 10 of Wands, Ace of Swords, and the Hangwoman in reversed. Okay, there's some like heavy stuff. I'm going to separate this a bit. There's some heavy stuff happening in these two cards. First of all, you're carrying a lot more than you need to be. And this is almost like intergenerationally or karmically, like you're carrying things that aren't yours. The Judgment reverse card is what's making me think that. And it's like, it's getting to the point where you're like, do I need to carry this? Is this beneficial for me or anyone else? Like, what's the point of this? Why did I volunteer for this? Because it's you're hitting the point where you can't cross through like this glass to where you need to be on your life path here. It's like you have to drop some of that load to get there. It's making me think weirdly about, like, have you ever seen those videos of like a little puppy who goes out in the backyard and like there's like a sliding glass door, and then like the puppy picks up a stick and then tries to like walk through the glass door, but the opening isn't big enough to like let the puppy in with the load that the puppy's carrying. It's like that. It's like you can't pass through to this next level carrying this load that's not even yours to begin with. Interesting. And then this comes in a little secondarily, that you'll have a moment of clarity. This will dawn on you. I think what I just said will dawn on you. You'll really feel it in an instant in your life, that like, oh, why am I carrying this? Like, I just can't get anywhere with this. So you will have that moment, and it will change your perspective on everything. Knight of Wands in reverse, the World reversed, Six of Swords in reverse, and the King of Pentacles in reverse. Both of these are to do with your burden, weirdly. These are the things you're carrying. One person, I'm going to say these are two different areas of your life. It could be something like relationship and work. So you have a boss at work who's like burdening you emotionally, as much as like emotionally, mentally, and with extra work that you don't need to be doing. and you haven't left, but you're like considering leaving. That hasn't happened yet, but with the Ace of Swords and your perspective change, that's going to be on the table for you. You're going to realize that you're worth a lot more and you're carrying more than you're being paid for. And this one feels a bit more personal to me, like it could be a relationship that someone is kind of like dumping all of their energetic burden onto you, and you carry that. You could have a partner who's just comes home and like complains and complains and like doesn't really ask you about your day. If that's kind of ringing true for anyone, like that's part of your burden that you're going to consider dropping. I don't know how you will do that. I mean, I don't see that it's necessary to leave the person, but you might find another way that doesn't become your burden. It stays their burden that they deal with. I kind of want to ask if there's advice on, like, for each of these, how to deal with the situation with the boss. Although you do have the Six of Swords, which is like leaving a situation. Maybe we'll just start here. What to do about this situation where this person is emotionally burdening you with their issues. I want to get this one. Queen of Cups. Oh, you can talk through. You can just bring this up to this person with great love and care, speaking from empathy, speaking from the heart, telling them how it's affecting you, and just bringing the problem to light instead of just accepting it. Because I think you're in this relationship where you've just gotten used to, like, this one, your partner complains and then you take in their problems and carry it for them. But you can engage your power of empathetic communication here and understanding to just let them know that it's actually like you need to do things a little bit differently because it's affecting you. Yeah. Okay, now I do want to see if there's a card for this situation, like the more like boss situation here. Yep. Three of Wands. Yep, there's definitely a new opportunity on the horizon. So you will be leaving this after you have your moment of clarity and you see things differently, and then things will they'll match. Like, you find the right opportunity, they recognize your value, you stand up for your value, and like it's a better situation. Yeah. So your year is all about letting go of these burdens in your life, multiple burdens, changing your perspective and walking through to the next level of what's ahead for you on your life path. So let's get one more card of advice for Pisces, Aquarius, Cusp in their year. So you have, you're not for everyone. Embrace your weirdness. Face your true north. Oh, I like that. Facing your true north. It's like this Judgment card is your true north that you're trying to get to, see? It's really orienting you towards that with the Hanged Woman energy. So let me read that for you. You're not for everyone. The world is filled with people who, no matter what you do, just won't like you, but it's also filled with those who love you fiercely. They are your people. You're not for everyone, and that's okay. Talk to the people who can hear you. Don't waste your precious time and gifts trying to convince others of your value. They won't ever want what you're selling. Don't try to convince them to walk alongside you. You'll be wasting both your time and theirs. That's them. And will likely inflict unnecessary wounds that will take precious time to heal. You're not for them and they're not for you. Politely wave them on and continue on your way. Sharing your path with someone is a sacred gift. Don't cheapen it by rolling yours in the wrong direction. Keep facing your true north. Pulling this card means you're being called to embrace your uniqueness, to own your weirdness, to let the world see who you really are, to reveal your multifaceted, multidimensional nature, not to dim your light according to who is in your presence, to own all parts of yourself so that your people, the ones who are the same kind of weird as you, can recognize you when your paths cross. And the reflection question is, how can you embrace your weirdness and not care so much about what other people think? Love that message. So sweet. I'm all about uniqueness and weirdness. And so I appreciate yours and the weirdness that you're putting into the world. Yeah, so a lot there, kind of reflecting what we talked about, a little bit different though with the uniqueness aspect, because I was emphasizing you being undervalued. Maybe it's being phrased to you as being weird, but other people will say, like, that's not weird, that's valuable, that's wonderful, thank you for being in the world. So it's all about leaving that situation or managing the situation at hand however you see fit, to embrace your uniqueness, your weirdness, because you are being called into that. And I think that's the great perspective shift that you're going to be stepping into this year. So wishing you so much love with that. It looks to be a great unfolding of events. And certainly you'll be dropping a burden that you've been carrying for too long. Please feel free to comment and ask a question. Thanks in advance for any likes, subscribes, and shares that you give. And I would love to see you in the next reading, and wishing you the best till then. Happy birthday, Pisces, Aries cusp. So let's get some message on your year ahead. And I always tend to think of the cusp, people who kind of identify in that cusp as with their sun sign. But if you have some kind of cusp on like your moon or rising or anywhere else in your chart, I guess this would be for you too. I've never done this yet, so that's kind of, let's leave that to you to decide. So Pisces, Aries, cusp, your year ahead. The World in reverse. 9 of Wands, 7 of Swords in reverse, and the Hierophant. Something to do with school here for sure. School or an institution of knowledge or a tradition of knowledge with the Hierophant. This is you standing your ground, and this is what's going on around you. It's like the world is upside down. You can't finish off this cycle. Maybe it's your degree, like there's some kind of mishap interfering with you to finishing your degree or defending your dissertation, because it's a defense card. And there has been some energy of somebody kind of like undercutting you or like cheating you out of something, maybe cheating you out of time. So say like you are a student, like a grad student, and you're going to defend your dissertation, but there's another student who's being advised by the same mentor, and that student just keeps taking up time from the mentor, so that like, or the advisor, so that you don't have any time from them. And like, it's kind of like there's like another problematic person in your life, but because it's reverse, I'm feeling that has been going on, but it's going to end soon. It's either going to end soon, or you're going to find out another way to work around that energy. Like it's not going to be a problem for you anymore in some way. I'm gonna keep pulling. King of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, and Princess of Wands in reverse. Yeah. The Princess of Wands reverse is that energy, that the other energy that's like interfering with you. It's like somebody who's like kind of immature and like showboats. What's another word for showboat? It's like kind of like they're like a show off and always trying to get attention, and it's like cheating you of the attention you deserve because you're not like this. You don't demand attention, but you do need it to accomplish and complete the cycle of what you're working on. But here with the King of Cups, Seven of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, there's a lot of stability and a lot of growth happening at the same time. And I want to say with the King of Cups, I think you just need to make it known to your advisor what's happening, and they will understand, and they will be there for you. Yeah, I think you're kind of suffering in silence a bit. You're watering your own plants, though. You're still like progressing and growing by your own efforts. But the message here is that you don't need to do that so much. You can ask for what you need, and your advisor will be understanding of that. There's just a lot of stability here in this, in what you've got going on here. You can depend on your institution and your advisor. You can depend on them. It's really just this one person, this one, I would say another classmate who's being, to give you a hint of who it is like, yeah, someone who's like being a little immature and needs a lot of attention. You're not wrong. Like that is affecting your experience, and you can ask for what you need. Yeah, so that's all meant to help you close out this cycle successfully and move on with your life, and also to not just suffer in silence. Yeah, because you came here for a purpose and you need to achieve that purpose, you will. But it doesn't have, you're deserving of the support that comes along with it. You don't have to just try to do it all on your own. One more card for you to close out the reading. It says Messenger, bringing harmony and balance. So I'm going to read the description to get the author's interpretation in here. You're part of the lineage of souls who have dedicated their lifetimes to the upliftment of the planet, to returning time and again to seed the light. The crystalline ones, the ones who are here to plant the sacredness of life back in, to honor both the sacred feminine and masculine, to usher deep reverence back in. Many ascended masters are thought to be connected to the energy of Sirius, often appearing as a shade of blue. They hold the frequency of pure love and are here to help the masculine and feminine exist in harmony, to ensure greater balance, to help us see that we're all connected and that the masculine and feminine energies exist within us all. You're being called to bring about this balance and harmony between the masculine and feminine, to be a guardian of harmony and balance on Earth. Think of the whales traveling around the globe, sharing love through their healing vibrational song. Their unique notes send balance and harmony to every corner of the planet. A rebalancing of the masculine and feminine is occurring worldwide. It's a resurgence of the sacred within us all, a returning of the sacred union within, a rekindling of heaven and earth. You can begin to bring harmony and balance by creating it in your own life. The ripples will flow from there. You can honor and balance the sacred masculine and feminine energies within yourself and others. And the reflection questions are, how are you being called to bring harmony to your life or the planet? How are you being called to honor the sacred masculine and feminine within you? So that's another way to think of it, is possibly an imbalance of like masculine and feminine energies, not necessarily gender identities, but the energies, like an imbalance where, like I was saying, this one person is taking up all the attention, needs to be in the center, always seen, always heard, while somebody else, you, is like always in the shadows, never gets to have a word in. It's imbalanced in that way. So you're being called to bring balance back. Start there, because it will benefit you directly to achieving what you need to in this scenario, but also towards your greater purpose of what you're doing beyond just your the paper degree, right? Because that degree is really a skill set and like a life path that you're following to do greater work. So it's going to help in the balance there in the future for you as well. You really do have an ally here, like a strong ally in this figure. It really might be like your advisor, or like a dean or a department head, or a boss. They're going to understand, and they're going to, this really is a good energy for bringing harmony. With their assistance, you can together bring harmony to the whole situation. Yeah, and that will be a good journey for you, Pisces Aries cusp, in the next year ahead. Wishing you so much love on that. Thanks in advance for your likes, comments, subscribes, and shares, and I hope to see you in the next one.